Let's get muddy! Today's video is indeed about a muddy mission. The idea behind the cleanup is to create a better access to the natural spring on my land. My goal is to set up a gravity-fed water system with IBC tanks on 2 of the terraces that each will feed the respective lower terrace using drip irrigation. Will it work? I don't know, but I will for sure give it a go. So, as you can see, I've got my serious shirt on, which means it's time for some serious weed whacking. I can't wait to weed whack again. I have to admit, I really love this tool. It's a lot of fun to do, but it can be heavy on your back after a while, of course. So, as you can see, in the background is the wild jungle that needs to be cut down before it gets unmanageable, and I can barely walk through at the moment to get to the water source. So yeah, that's my plan for now. Just to cut it short and to have a clean area again, and I might cut some areas along the terraces as well that have grown quite high, especially the terraces that I haven't been preparing for the cover crops. They still look quite wild, so but yeah, mainly this area. And if I still have time for some more serious work, my plan is to clean out the water source area, which is, overgrown with algae and everything, and I want to clean it out before the really heavy rains come in winter. So that's actually my last time frame, my last chance to really do it. But let's see if I still have time to do that. At the moment, the focus is on weed whacking, so let's gear up and let the fun begin. Have you ever seen a person this excited about weed whacking? I don't think so. I doubt it. Let's see if I still got it. Choke. On. Pump. Pump. Start. Not only do I look way different after weed whacking, well, it's actually okay this time because the grass and the weeds are quite dry, so it doesn't spatter green, hulkish color on you. But usually this kind of is like a weird situation. But look around me, it looks like so different as well. It opens up the place so much. Although I like kind of the natural feeling of the jungle, yeah, it's way easier to access the water source this way, and just to kind of manage the weeds because they would just grow bigger and bigger and wider, and then I just couldn't go anywhere really anymore. So yeah, I'll show you a few terraces that I've done as well, just so you get an idea what I've done in the last, I don't know, 2 hours. Yeah, but I feel it after a while. I was quite happy, to be honest, that the string was running out, the weed whacking string that you attach around the head of the machine. And then, the more you cut, the shorter the string gets. And it was so short that I can, get anything cut anymore. And that was my sign to stop the work for today. And I'm glad, because my arms are like all tingly from, that vibration of the machine. And my hand gets sore as well after a while just by, hitting the clutch and everything. So yeah, it's a good sign to stop when the string is finished. But yeah, let me show you the terraces. So that's one of the terraces that I've done. And once you start, you kind of become obsessed almost with it to clean it even better and better. And then I started cleaning a bit the stone walls because they get quite a lot of weeds in between the rocks as well. And then all along where the spring runs in winter, there are obviously also more weeds here because it's just wetter and more shade as well from the trees here. So I kind of cut down this area as well, and that keeps going and going till all the way down there. Then I've done another terrace right here. Well, that's a terrace that I plowed, but of course the sides weren't cut down, so I've done that as well. So yeah, it keeps going. So 2 hours of work get you quite somewhere. So it's a quite satisfying job actually, because you see the results straight away. But I'm not gonna clean this source today. It's just too much work, otherwise too much physical work. So that's for another day. But yeah, I'm happy for today. And yeah, let's make some lunch. Okay, today is the pits, the water area cleaning day. Oh geez, I'm getting stuck already. Yes, well, my big goal for today is to clean out this area, just because it's gonna accumulate over the years, and I think now it's still manageable. I also want to figure out where those two sources come from exactly, so I'm gonna go deeper into that jungle there. And also, as you can see around me, it's getting wilder and wilder with the ferns and everything. So my goal is also to trim that down. Also the brambles are starting to come out here. So a bit of a all-around cleaning program for today. Another reason why I'm cleaning out this whole area as well is because this week I get 3 IBC tanks delivered, which will be part of my gravity watering system throughout the terraces. And yes, I want this whole area clean for that as well, so I can, you know, work around here, put the pipes in properly. So yeah, exciting steps ahead, especially for the watering system. I'm very excited for that, to see how it will all work out. And yeah, I think it will be a big game changer, especially in spring, once I have the terraces planted and everything. So I don't have to do the daily chores of watering, which is a big time saver. So yeah, I'll start cleaning out here, and it will get muddy, I guess. So yeah, let's see how it will look after a few hours. Let's go! So as you can see, it starts to work. The plants here are pretty easy to take out. Here the plants were a bit more tangled, you know, the roots were like intertwined. So I had to use the hoe to, you know, cut them open. But here it's pretty easy, and as you can see, all that water leads towards the, you know, opening of the tank. So that means quite a lot of water was here saved in this area, within the plants, within the root system, which in a way obviously is good for the natural environment. But since I want to use this tank for my watering system for the terraces, I have to make the most of it, so cleaning out in that case is the best idea. And I'm already looking like a mess after a few minutes, but I think it's just gonna get worse, so I have to get comfortable with it. Ooh, even my gloves are all like wet already. Anyway, I'll keep going. It's as heavy as a dog. I mean a small dog, but a dog. So before I keep going with the pits, I will start to kind of build a trench right here, because now the water gets stuck here and I'm afraid that then it will just overlap everywhere. So the usual way it runs, or at least last year it ran that way, it ran along the fence here and then streaming down further to the other terraces. So yeah, that's my plan, just to kind of, you know, put all that gunk in the middle on the side, so this is kind of a barrier for the trench. And what do you think about my current look? Pretty good, right? Pretty good. You know, the only way to survive those types of situations is with humor. That's the only way to handle them. Well, at least that's my choice how to handle them, because it can be frustrating, it can be, you know, uncomfortable, but you know what, you've got to get the job done, so a good attitude kind of helps. So let's go! I'll come back with the bush trimmer in here to give it a good last trim. I took the big branches out, but for a good cleanup, I think the weed whacker will be the best tool. that's the result after a few hours of work. The entire pit is kind of clean, at least most of it, the main parts. It still needs a bit of cleanup. It needs the trimming in the jungle. And yes, I am kind of still a bit unsure about the situation, what's the best way to handle the next steps. So I will have a think about it and continue in the next days. But so far, the only thing I really need to do is have a shower. It was quite the messy job, so I'm pretty excited about the solar shower now.